exams or tests, I can compile. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Heather. If you have seen me before, then you already know that my name is Heather, so welcome back. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't have seen this, but I'm sort of going to be changing up my content a bit. I'm obviously still going to be posting long distance and LGBTQ plus related stuff, but I also want my channel to represent me a bit more and more things that I'm interested in rather than just my long distance relationship and my sexuality. So if you're not interested in these other types of videos, that's totally okay, but this is just a hobby for me, so I'm doing stuff that is enjoyable for me. So yeah. With that being said, this week's video is going to be a bit of an organizational video, I guess. I'm going to be showing you how I stay organized and what I use to stay organized in university, especially online university, because I know we're all, or most of us, are going through that right now. So I thought this might be helpful, and I have gotten a few requests to show this kind of stuff. So I hope you'll be able to get something out of this, but this is just what works for me, and if it doesn't work for you, that's totally okay. You just need to find what works for you. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm just going to go through each piece of equipment, that's kind of the wrong word, but each thing that I use and what I use it for to help me stay organized. So the first thing is this calendar. I hope you can see it. So I have this calendar hanging on my fridge, and this is where I write due dates for each assignment or test or exam in my classes, as well as appointments and other sort of daily real life things like that. And I, as you can see, have it color coded, and these colors also correspond with how I do it in my planner, which is very helpful. So I can be like, okay, I'm looking for a due date for my Psych 260 class, and that's red, so I'll look for the red on the calendar. I don't know, I just find that helpful. I've always been a person who likes to color code, and I do find that super helpful to help me stay organized and be able to have the due dates and figure out what I need to do by a certain date. I like having it all laid out on one page for the month so I can sort of plan my schedule, my daily schedule accordingly. And my next thing, which is my holy grail, I use this every single day, is my actual planner, my little daily planner. I have this little bookmark, which is helpful when it's closed, but I put every single day for each class what I need to do that day. I don't put the due dates because I can look at my calendar to figure that out. So I look at my calendar and then I'm like, okay, this is due then, I need to do that today, and I write it down. And I have little check boxes so that I can check it off when it's done, and I find that very satisfying when I complete something and I'm able to check it off. I find that really helpful, and yeah, I like to have this planned out. This helps me organize my day, and I can just look at this and see, okay, this is what I need to get done today, and this is what I've done so far, blah, 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 all that stuff. So yes, definitely recommend a planner. This next thing is something that I actually started using when school went online, and I've found it so helpful, and it's this hourly schedule, this hourly planner. And Alaya made me this one, but I feel like you can buy these anywhere and you can honestly make them yourself. It's not that hard. Alaya was able to make it easily. But basically at the top I have the month, and I just circle what month it is and circle what day it is, what made me smile today that I can fill out at the end of the day. And then I have an hourly schedule, and this is what I find the most helpful because I'm able to plan out what I'm doing each hour and how I'm going to fit everything on my planner to-do list into my daily schedule. I find this so helpful, and it really helps me stay organized and know sort of what my next step is in the day. It's very, very helpful. And I also have chores, so I put here what I need to do for chores for the day: make my bed, do the dishes, clean the bathroom, stuff like that. It's written on this one. And then there is a to-do section, and in the to-do section I just write everything that's on the hourly schedule and sort of in my planner that I have to get done that day. And then I also have self-care, so I try to do one thing a day that's self-care. So today I have do a face mask. And then at the bottom I have this notes section, and I feel like you could do whatever you want with this, but for me, I like to give myself a little motivational quote to help me get through the day. So today is going to be a great day. So yeah, I find that really helpful because yes, I'm able to go hour by hour and see what I need to be getting done by a certain time. And I find that gives more structure to my day, especially with everything being online. I don't have necessarily specific times for certain lectures, so I find it really helpful to be able to organize when I'm going to do what. The next thing I'm going to show you is how I organize my notes for my classes. So I have two types of notebooks. I have these thin ones. These are both just from Amazon, these thin ones, and this big 5-subject one. And so basically, this is what I did last year as well when things were in person, but I find it really helpful, and this is how I like to organize myself. But I use the thinner notebooks. I have one for each class, and this is where I write my textbook notes. So in university, typically for each class, you have to read a certain chapter or certain chapters each week. And so I have all of the chapter textbook notes in this type of notebook. And then this thicker notebook that's 5 subjects, I have a section for each class in it. And this is where I write my lecture notes. So last year, what I would do is I would type up my lecture notes on my computer when I was in person, obviously, and then I would come home and rewrite them in my notebook because I found that helped me sort of digest that information a bit more. And I still sort of do that for some of my classes. I will type up the notes on my computer and then put them in the notebook, but I also just put them straight in the notebook for some of them because it's online and it's watching videos, so I'm able to pause and write stuff down. But yes, I find it helpful to have them separated. And then when I'm going to study for exams or tests, I can combine them into one sort of study set and see what information is overlapping and what's unique to the textbook or the lectures. And my next thing, this is my last physical thing, is my bullet journal. And if you haven't seen my bullet journal video from last year, I will link it up in the eye, wherever, I don't remember what side it's on, but I use this for organization as well. This is my new one this year. Look at how freaking adorable it is. I got these stickers on it. I find it so cute. But basically in here, I have a set of monthly pages that I do. So I've got a cover page that I do each month, and then I have a mood tracker so I can see what my moods were like each day for the month. And I have a sleep log, which I find very helpful so I can see how much sleep I'm getting, and I have sort of ideal lines there, as you can see, but it doesn't always work out that I sleep between those times. And then I have a highlight of the day page. I just find this is very nice to look back on, gives me some gratitude to look back on what the highlight of my day was. And finally, I have my habit tracker. I feel like this is the most helpful page for staying organized in my daily routines and stuff. I've got water, and that's if I drink enough water during the day, take my medicine, do my journal, eat fruits and veggies, get an 8-hour sleep, post on Instagram, change my site because of my type 1 diabetes, change my inset, and getting outside. This isn't really school related per se, but I find it really nice to just sort of unwind at the end of the day and fill this out, and it's nice to look back on some of the things in there. All right, so the rest of it is on my computer, so I'll somehow show that. But I also really like to use Google Calendar, and for Google Calendar, what I put in there is my lectures. Lectures aren't necessarily at a specific time. Some of them are synchronous, but some of them are asynchronous. So I've sort of made a schedule for myself, and I'll be showing you this in the clip, but I have from this time to this time is this lecture, and it'll notify me 30 minutes before, and it's also color-coded in there, which is very helpful. And I find this is nice, especially for the classes that are asynchronous or not on Zoom, because I can set out a specific time each day and how many days a week that I want to do it, so I have more of a schedule when there isn't one laid out for me, because I find that for me, I need a schedule. I need to know what I'm going to be doing at a specific time and when I need to get stuff done by. I can't have it just free, because then I probably wouldn't do it. I mean, obviously there is possibility for me to change it around a little bit, which is really nice, but I find it nice to have the structure on Google Calendar to see what classes I have each day and plan my planner and daily schedule accordingly. Going along with that, I use Google Drives for a lot of things, for my schoolwork mostly. I have a section on my Google Drive for each of my classes, and then I have a section for like general stuff like the syllabus and assignments, and then I also have a section to put the slides in. And for a lot of my classes, I like to download the slides and put them in there, and then while I'm watching the lecture, I can use Google Drive and add notes on it, and then highlight and add notes, and then I fill out those notes and put them into my notebook that I showed you earlier. But I find that really helpful. It helps me to sort of absorb that information a bit more and get everything that I need to down on the page. So I love Google Drive. I definitely recommend using that for sure. All right, that is all that I really use to stay organized in my day-to-day life for school. I hope this was helpful somewhat. I can definitely do more videos on this kind of stuff, like how I stay motivated, and I really do want to do more vlogs, and I want to do a day in my life so you can see how I use these tools in action. But I definitely find that it helps me stay really organized. It may not be helpful for everyone, because I do use a lot of different things, and some people like to have everything in one calendar, which is totally understandable, but I like to have it separated, so I know that I have to look at this calendar for this specific thing, like due dates, and this one for lectures and stuff like that, which could be a bit disorganized for some people, but it works for me. Anyways, if you have any other video requests for me, please leave those down below, because I like to make videos that you guys want to see. Like I said, I'm going to still be doing LGBTQ+ and LDR related stuff, but I also want to show more lifestyle related content and stuff about my life because I don't know, I want to share more about me and less just about my sexuality and my relationship, like I said earlier. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week for another one. Bye guys.